you want to learn about investigative journalism, uh, I will share my screen. Okay, can you confirm if you're okay? Can
Yes,
you
we can see
see
it. Yes,
the
yes.
slides? Okay, thank you. Okay, first of all, I want to explain a little bit about our organization. CHO was established in 2005, and our mission is to prevent and combat corruption in Kosovo. CHO has conducted various reports about the corruption in different fields. But in the meantime, since 2010, with the aim to or focusing more in investigative journalism, Cho has created its investigative wing, Preporter. So in Preporter, we conduct different investigative stories about several fields, let's say for economy, health, environment recently, and other fields. So the training will be divided in three parts. I will explain in the first part, I will explain how we work, how we have conducted some stories that may be interesting for you and maybe you can use in your researches or in-depth articles and to practice our methodology in your country. Uh, after that, we will do some tips in investigative how to investigate in online. There are many platforms and many tools that we use to research to find very important things. And the last thing will be how to investigate through social networks. There are many possibility to find interesting things through the social network. Uh, uh, my colleague Altin will present the notable corruption cases in the Balkans. So, in the meantime, if you have questions, you can write or when you will start to work, I'm available to contact with you by email or Facebook or other platform. So I'm willing to collaborate with you, not just today, but maybe in the future if you need to investigate together or to find some interesting data or something else. So one of our big investigation was the um political patronage in Kosovo, patronage. So in Kosovo, all the time was a debate about the political appointments, but the data were missing. So we have conducted three investigative stories about the political patronage. So I will show you this three investigative story. So first of all, we have put the criteria for identifying the political affiliation. So because it's very important to have the criteria because it's very important to have the official links between the political affiliation with some high officials with the political parties. So our criteria was for individuals who run in local or national election. So we get the list in the and we checked we check all the names. Individuals who have been or still are member of political parties, structure or center or in local level. Individuals who have held political positions such as political advisors. And after that, for example, political advisors get an official position, high official position through the competition, and individuals who have publicly campaigned for political parties, and they published their support through social media or by participating in the political party activities. So in this case, where to find the data? So I will explain how we got the data. For example, if you want to get data about the people that run on the election, we have to get data in Election Commission of Kosovo. So in this case, in Kosovo, I think you have your institution of election of commission in your countries. So in the election commission, you can get the data about the local and national election. And it's very important. We have the Agency for Prevention of Corruption. Some country have anti-corruption agency. It's the name. So all high officials are or must declare their assets. So in this aspect, all the high position are in the Agency for Prevention of Corruption, and website of political parties or another option to find the people that are part of the structures or have different position there. Websites of ministries and the Agency for Prevention of Corruption for to get data about the high officials, and on the ministry's website about the advisors, and social media platforms. For example, we need to get this data and to compare. For example, when we have the data from the Agency for Prevention of Corruption, we have all the names of high officials, and we will compare the name with data from the Election Commission of Kosovo, and we can find the if a high official has been appointed in high position, and he before, or he ran in election, or he had an position as a political advisor or something else. So next step will be gathering data. So we used two aspects for gathering data. First of all, we have created a database in Excel. I will show you the database. So when we have data, we will put them in the database. So we have there the position, the description of position, the date of appointment, political parties, the relation with political parties, the years in which years the high official worked, and the municipality. So we have put all data in Excel first, and after that we have create an open data. So I will show you the open data. So this is an interactive online open data, and we can filter and find.
Visnik, we cannot see the open data. We
Okay.
only see the presentation. You should share probably the entire screen instead of the presentation.
Just a moment, please. So you can see now.
Yes, it's okay now.
Okay. So first of all, let me, okay, just I want to share the Excel file. Okay, can you see this file?
Yes, everything is fine now.
Okay, okay. So uh, just to explain quickly. So the idea was when we got the data, so we have created an Excel uh, sheet. So we have the institution name and surname of the official, position, description of position, the date of appointment, political party, relation with the political party, and the years in which years the high official has worked, and the municipality. So after this, we have created an online database, an interactive database. So I think you can see now. Can
The Excel. We can
The
see the
Excel,
Excel.
yeah.
Yes, the
okay.
Excel doc.
Just a moment, please. Yeah, okay.
Now it's okay.
Yeah. So this is uh, our open data. We have many online database. So we will show after that another one. So after Excel, we have created this online database, so we can filter data by category, by institution, by the official. So we have to put name and surname here, and for example, this guy, we will do a search here, so we can filter data by the individuals. So we have the description here, and all data about the relation of this person about with the political party. So another option is to filter data by the position, by the political parties, or by the year when the high official have been appointed. So this is a public database, and journalists or other NGOs usually join to get data, because it's easy to filter data uh, by the name or the position. Okay, just to share. Okay, and another investigation we have conducted about the political party financing. So political party financing continues to be a crucial issue, included because of lack of transparency. So there are missing data all the time. So for this reason, we have conducted two investigative stories about this topic. So I will explain how we got the data, and how you can got this data in your countries. So the idea is that many companies that have donated to political parties have received public contracts through the procurement procedures. So, for example, a company that donated 5,000 euros to a political party ended up winning public tenders worth million euros. So, the idea how to investigate this topic, it's a little bit same with the political patronage. So first of all, we have gathered data from the Public Procurement Regular Commission. So we have e-procurement. So in the e-procurement, you can have all the data about the tenders, who won the tenders. And next step is the Election Commission of Kosovo, the financial report. So every political party, I think, I guess in your country as well, have to report the finances to the Election Commission of Kosovo. So their reports will be published. Usually are public. So just we need to get the data and to compare. So we get the tenders about the two ministries, Ministry of Education, because many years ago in Kosovo were built many schools, and Ministry of Infrastructure, because there are many tenders about the roads. So after this we have created an Excel sheet, Excel file. So I will show you how we created this Excel and how to put data there. Just to share with you, please. I need to close some of them. Okay. So the idea is when we got the data from the public procurement, who won the tenders, and we have the data from the election commission of Kosovo, who gave the money for the political parties. We start to do a database. Uh, uh, so we have here the name of the business, number of the business, number of the ID. If we have, it's very important. If we have, it's let's say like illegal to have the personal IDs of someone, but if we put in the Excel for confirmation, because with the number of ID we can check for sure in agency registration of businesses when we are checking for the businesses. The city, the contact person, owners, the title of contract, the amount of tenders, date of tenders, number of tenders, and other details. So here we have the relation with the political parties and all this data. So we have the data from the public procurement when we see who got the tender, and we have the list of donators that have given money for the political party, and the data are in the election commission of Kosovo. So comparing this data and find the donors, we create or we can create a file Excel with this data, and after this we have created uh, an online database. So I will share with you now. Just so the idea of this interactive online database was to put the network of the people, of the businesses that gave money for the political parties, and after this they received tenders with many tenders with million amounts from the public procurement contracts. So in this platform, we can see when you put the mouse here, you can see the data. For example, the political party is there, the institution, and the company that gave the money for the political party. For example, let me share.
Leslie, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
So the companies were donating money to Partia Democratica e Kosovës?
Yes.
Like transactions through banks, or how do you gather that?
Yeah, of course. So as I say, the political parties must to declare their assets, their finances that get from the businesses or individuals. So
Okay.
they have to declare to the Election Commission of Kosovo, and we find the data in the uh, Election Commission of Kosovo, and all the people that gave money for the political party, we can find the list there. Do you understand the?
Yes, I did. So basically, everything is being published into the Central Commission of Kosovo.
Yes.
Great.
So
Okay,
in the
thanks.
there are two institutions, the Election Commission of Kosovo in this case, that publish the data, and there are all companies and individuals who gave money for the political parties, and we have a big job to find the tenders. For example, in our case, we checked the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Infrastructure who won the tenders, and we got the name of of individuals and the name of the businesses and compared with the data of the
So to check if someone that has given money to the political party has he won any public tender.
yes.
Okay,
So
great.
we find
Thanks.
220 million euros that got the or received the companies that donated money for political parties. So this is infographic. For example, if you see in this part, we have put the names of the company or individuals who, for example, let me take an example. Um, uh, just to, to, to find the company there. Uh, yeah, for example, a company Burime gave 4,000 euros for a political party, and after this, this company received 12 million euros by the public procurement. So this was the idea how to show all individuals and all businesses that got money from the public contracts. So this is the infographic that we have published about this topic. Okay, let's continue with the slide. Okay. In recent years, our priority was to investigate in environmental issues. So we have conducted numerous stories about the investigation about the environmental issues. So I will show quickly about how we have conducted the stories and how maybe you can get the same data in your countries. For example, if you are doing a story about the degradation of the environment, for example, the rivers or the mountains, or to get data for illegal cases. In our case, we have the Kosovo Mining Agency. So I will show the this platform. I think in your country as well, you have the same institution. So this is a public platform. We have to check for data there. And for example, type of licenses, we have to select illegal cases. And we have to, for example, stone or sand or gravel. So the idea of this public data is to show how many illegal cases were identified in Kosovo through the years, and we got this data to as a, let's say, as a beginning of the process to conduct a story. So I will show you how we did this. Just a moment, please. There are some technical issues, but okay. So when we got the data from the Kosovo Mining Agency, we have created a database about the location statuses, for example, illegal operation, local descriptor, license type, and license holder, the company that got the license, application date, municipality, and number of business. Number of business is very important because it's the way how we can directly confirm a business is if he is the business that we are looking for, and the political party. So the idea is the same, to see who gets the licenses, and through this methodology we have created this database, and we find many donors that gave money for political parties, and after that received the licenses to dig in rivers or in mountains. So the I will show you. Okay, I will share the slide now. Okay. So after the database in Excel, we have created an online platform. Just to share with you. So the idea of this platform is to show the with the concrete data the degradation of the environment in Kosovo. Just okay. So when we got the data we put on the Excel, we go on the field and we took photo and videos about these places. So if we go here to the Drini River, we can see the description about the river, about the illegal cases, and after that we have put also the images. So this database offers the data in statistical aspect and the images about the river. So it's after we got the data and we go on the field to see the places and to take photos to show concretely the damages that are on in the field. Another investigation about it was about the Fernickelli pollution. So I just want to share one idea what we did to this story, because it was a problem all the time that the Fernukeli has impact on the river pollution and a slag dump. The slag dump, it's like the slag is like a material of that it's out of the production. It's a complicated process of the production. So the idea is to demonstrate with facts the pollution. So we monitored the river for 8 months. We went maybe one or two times a week to took photos and videos of the river, but the data of are missing the data that fact the pollution. So for this reason, we collected samples from the river. For this reason, to do this, we send a request to the Agency for Environment in Ministry of Environment, and they accept our request, and we get this official, and we go together to the river to collect samples, and the data show that the Fernukeli has a bad impact and pollution in the river. So this is the methodology. If you are conducting or you will do a story about the pollution of the rivers, you will try in the institutional way to do a request, because the tests in this case are the facts. So we can show with camera or video or photos the pollution of the river, but it's very important if we will get the test, the analysis of the samples that you can get in the river, and you can do this through the request on the Ministry of Environment. Okay, we are now ready to finish with the first part. Another investigation, it was about the agricultural grants. So I think in our countries we are the same problematics, because the Ministry of Agriculture give grants for the farmers, and there are many problems that we found in this process. So for this reason, we have started to do an investigation about the grants that have what the ministry have gave for the farmers, and we have found significant injustice faced by farmers. For example, when we go on the field, we found empty barns and greenhouses, while on the other hand, we discovered farmers who had been denied grants and were forced to sell their livestock during winter due to lack of proper facilities. So the idea is to compare the people that need these grants doesn't have condition to work, and the people that get these grants, their barns are empty and greenhouses, for example. So another finding of this investigation was that approximately 50% of applications or applicants were rejected due to missing documentation. For example, if someone forgot to send the copy of the ID or copy of the credit card bank or something, they rejected them in order to create space for another grantees. So the idea of this investigation is to find who won the grants, and we found many companies and individuals that are related with political parties. So our methodology, it was the same. We got the data of people or companies who won grants, and we implement our methodology comparing data with the election commission of Kosovo, and we have found many donors of the political parties that give money for the political parties, and after this political party came in the power, they got these grants. So this is like a clientelism, and in this sector as well. Another investigation was how how the our investments, in this case 220 million euros invested in agriculture, affected the sector, and we got the data from the customs, we got data from the Ministry of Agriculture, how money they invest in, how much money they invest in specific sector. For example, we have infographic for the meat, for example, and you can see the export and the import of the meat. And in this period, the ministry have invested around 20 million euros in this sector. So the last investigation that I'm showing, it's about the health sector. We have conducted an investigation about the smuggling of cytostatics in Kosovo. If you don't know, cytostatics are medication or drugs that are dedicated for people that are faced with cancers. So the idea was to show how this medication are smuggling in Kosovo. So for this reason, we did undercover and formal visits on oncology or oncology clinic, in clinic of oncology. So when we have conducted the interview with the director, he said the 50% of the medication that are in clinic usually are contraband, and 50% are from the Ministry of Health. So due to this fact, we went to the place when all medication administered to the patients, and we find that all medication in this day were without the official tax stamp, so were illegal. And we started a deep investigation. For example, all this medication that are you seeing now, we find in the clinic administered to the patient, and all of them were illegal. So the idea is to get more facts. So we find a medication called Herceptin, worth around 1,700 euros. And the idea is to track how this medicament came in Kosovo, because a woman that have had this or bought this medication bought in illegal way. So I took video and photo of this Herceptin that is here. And another step in these cases, if you will do a research or investigation, it's very important to see the provider who bring this this medication there. So when we had the tracking barcode and batch number, so we find the official of the let's say the branch of this company in Kosovo, and we send the barcode and the batch number. This data are on the box of the medicament. So we find there are the original data that this Herceptin was bought or sold in Kosovo, in Vietnam and Singapore. So the idea is to show that this medicament was bought from the Ministry of Health, and someone stole it and sold it in the illegal market. So for this reason, we visited several pharmacies and we got, first of all, a receipt from a doctor that we need this medication, this drug. And when we go in 7 or 8 pharmacies looking for this illegal medication, so we found and we used a pencil. It's a pen camera. It's like a pencil. Maybe you have seen, and we use this camera to estimate this. We in our investigation usually don't use this kind of methodology, but in this case we use to show facts how you can buy herceptin in this case in an illegal way in Kosovo in some pharmacies. So this is about our investigation through the years. So we have a break in 11, so we will start now with another stage, let's say, how to investigate online. So I think I can be more practical in this part, because in previous part how we investigate, for example, for an investigation we worked 6 months, and it's a little bit difficult to explain all methodology and all details. And if you didn't work in this kind of works, it's a little bit difficult to understand all methodology. But I will share the materials, of course, and you can see and check. So in investigative journalism, it's very important and useful if you will use online platforms to investigate online. So I will show some platforms and tips. First of all, it's a platform called Aleph. I will share with you Aleph. Aleph has been created by OCCRP. It's let's say Aleph, it's a database of databases. Through Aleph, you can access in a variety of data on businesses, individuals, and more. So it's to use the Aleph is very simple. Can you confirm that you're seeing the platform?
No, we can see the
No.
presentation.
Yes.
Okay, just a moment, please. Okay. So the Aleph, it's as I say, database of databases, and you can find variety of data on businesses, individuals, and more. So it's easy to use Aleph. You can find here, you can rate name of politician, businesses, or other data, and you can find many data and documents. So I will try to sync in now to demonstrate how the Aleph works. Just want to find my phone because I need to use authenticator here. So the Aleph, it's created by OCCRP, Organization for the Corruption and Crime and Corruption Network Reporting Project. So I will show you that just to assess. Okay. You can create as well an account in Aleph. So the OCCRP, in this case, you can see in the left part of the platform are the database that give the access. For example, I will explain you about for example, Orion. The idea of the OCCRP is to gather data and to put facts there from all organization, journalists, let's say worldwide. And one of the projects of the that I have worked with OCCRP and using the Aleph is about the Credit Suisse Bank. There are a leak of data from this bank, and I found two investigation. For example, first was the former ambassador of Kosovo in USA, Akan Ismaili. He had around 4 million euros in this bank, and he didn't declare in the anti-corruption agency. So according to the law, he must to declare all assets. And another case was Arya Rapfogel, a former advisor of Prime Minister Hashim Thaçi, who had around 5 million euros in the bank account, and what money are related with Kosovo. So the idea is that in Aleph you can search here. You can, if someone can give me a name, we can do a search together. If you remember any politician or any businessman or whatever, so you can write just there and you can find several data.
Excuse me, Besnik, can we try Zamir Mane?
It's yes, it's with S or S.
Yes, with S. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are, if we are looking for Samir Mana, Samir Mana for others that doesn't know, it's one of the big businessmen in Albania. He have many businesses in Kosovo, Albania, and I think in a region as well. So about the Samir Mana, we can find this data. So we have many documents. For example, here are the Kosovo business registration. He has businesses here. Austrian companies registry. He has businesses there. So it's easy to use Aleph, and it's very useful to find different information for different issues. So it's very simple. Just you have to put the name, and you have to check the data. For example, we have different data there. So when you have more time, you can check and you can use Aleph because it's very useful platform. Another platform is opencorporates.com. It's like the same platform, but you can.
This is in Albania, right?
No, it's
It's international?
yeah, it's international.
Okay.
Just to share with you. It's another platform. Okay, can you see
Yes.
now? So Open Corporates, it's a platform that provides open data on companies and their structures. It enables to search to uncover connection between businesses,
Sorry, we're looking at the presentation.
Sorry?
Not at the webpage. Now is the webpage, yes.
Yeah. So it's the easy to search in this platform. So you have just to select you are looking for company or you are looking for the officers. In this case, that means individuals. So you just have to put a name there and you can find many important data. So do you want to take a break now? According to the agenda, and we will continue with Google Advanced Research search. So we will come back after 30 minutes.
Maybe a little bit less, maybe 15 minutes.
Okay, if you agree, all of you, it's okay with me, but
Yes, we can finish earlier. And everyone can stay signed in, so we can continue. Just mute yourself and we can continue in 15
Yes.
minutes.
Yes,
okay, we can continue in 15 minutes.
Okay, perfect. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay. The Google Advance, it's a great platform to find several information through the internet. So it's like a search engine that allows user to search the web for and to filter data in different languages, type of documents, and other options. So I will show you an example. Um, let's say on all the famous people of recently is Vladimir Zelensky. So if we are looking information about Zelensky, we can use the Google Advance. You can see that it's simple to go to Google Advance. It's google.com and /advanced underline search. So we have all words. In this case, we put Vladimir Zelensky. The exact words of phrase. If we want to search about a specific issue or word, the idea of this option is to put on the quote this word. For example, we can use here Ukraine war or something else. It's none of these words. It's very interesting and important because you can avoid if you are, for example, looking for Vladimir Zelensky information. But for example, you don't want to see in your search something an issue. For example, he has been in White House. You cannot in this search you cannot find anything about the Vladimir Zelensky and White House. Uh, you can select the results regarding to language, region, last update. So if you are looking for information about something in past 24 hours, past week, past month, or past year, so you can select this option. Seat or domain if you want to check this information in specific public institution or newspaper or something else. You can use here the link of the portal of the website. And it's very important to, if you use Google Advanced for the file type. For example, if we are looking for the documents in PDF or Adobe or other file types, we can select here, or we can just let or use select on any format. So if we do advanced search, so we have the results in this case for Vladimir Zelensky, but we cannot find the information for, in this case, for White House. You see there the White House it's minus. So I prefer if you can do 5 minutes exercise to look something in Google Advanced, something you are interested to know or to get more information, and to use Google Advanced. If you have any problem, we can resolve together here. So if you can 5 minutes to search something using this option of Google Advanced. For example, this exact word of first or phrase, we can, for example, we can use war, and when we do the search, the word war, it's on the quote, so we can be more focused in this issue, in this word or topic that are looking for. So try you to do a search using Google Advanced for 2 more minutes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. So another platform, it's advanced video search. So it's little bit similar of the Google Advanced. So it's the idea, if you are looking for a specific video, you can use the Google Advanced video search. So you can put the words that are you looking for. All options are the same like Google Advanced. So this is a good platform to find videos that we are interested. For example, here are the quality. If you are looking for HD quality or posting date, there are the same option like Google Advanced. Another option is advanced image search. So I will just a moment. So the advanced image search, it's the similar platform as well, like Google Advanced, but we have some option there. So we can search by the putting the words, the exact word of phrase, the same methodology how we put the words in Google Advanced, but In this case, we can choose, for example, the size. We can select here, or we can select the colors of images. So in this case, for example, war in Ukraine, we can use just black and white colors. Type of image, we can use any type or photo in this case. Any region we can use. It's better to select any region, site or domain, GPX, for example, in this case. And if we search, we can find the photos of Ukraine war just in black and white version. So there are some methodology how to find photos through the Google Advanced Photos. Let's continue about Google Images, a great platform to verify photos. So you can, when you go to Google Images, you can upload the image and to search for similar matching visuals. So I will show you some specific examples how you can upload and to find photo, especially to verify facts or to do fact checking. But before of this, if you want it's light to install in your computers, it's a tool called Lightshot. So Lightshot is very useful tool to for fast screenshot, and you can edit and share images from their screen. So how to use Google Image? So we will go to Google Image, but before I will show you a case. So in social networks, especially in Facebook, usually we see this kind of articles that are boosted as well. So the idea of the example that I am showing here is how to verify if this photo, this image of this lady, is true or false. So the idea of this article was to show that the people that suffer from diabetes have a solution. The medicaments are there. So the prescription is doctors in Kosovo are in panic. A cure has been found that lower blood sugars levels from to 4.2 one tablet in the morning. So I have installed the Lightshot here. So I will show you how to use in this case. So when we do print screen, we will choose just the image of this lady, and we will save as a screenshot 6 in this case. So we'll go to Google Image. I will share with you. So we have saved the image, and we will upload here in the Google Image to see to check this photo if this is real, or we can find another option. So in this case, we have 3 photos that we found through the Google Image. So in this case, this website I guess it's from Russia. So we are waiting to open the link. So the idea is when you go to the Google image, you have to upload the photo that we have saved or we have captured through the light shot. So with this methodology, we found that this lady, if I can translate there, it's a doctor in the Moscow in Russia. So the idea is to demonstrate that this article that is published in Facebook in this case, it's not real. For example, the name of this lady in the article is Arta Ziciri, and she gave a long interview how this medication works. So if you use the Google image, you can do a fact checking very quickly in these cases to find the image if it's true or false. Another simple, it's I find myself through this platform. So this is my photo during war 1999 in Kukës, Albania. So I use the same methodology using Google Advanced. So I will save the photo and I will try to do again. So in this option, we can upload the photo, and we can see what we can find there. So it's simple to use Google image, but another option it's tna.com. Let me share with you. So tna.com, it's a website for to check images, to search and to compare the images through the years. So it's very useful for verifying images authenticity over the time. So we will go to the tna.com. So it's very simple to use tna.com, just to share with you. So this is tna.com. If you want some to check for images, or you can upload there, or you can just put the link of the website here. So I have 2 or 3 specific examples to show you how it works. Let's see the presentation. So for example, this image, it's from in an article I have read that this earthquake was in Morocco. So I did a check using TIN-A. So we can just use save this photo. I use light shot, as I said. It's very useful tool if you want to install in your computers. So it's screenshot 8. Okay, we will go to TNA website. So we can upload here another photo. And we can find, so we have 303 329 results, and we can see many links there. So, and if we check this photo, so if we can see down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4 to 33. So we can check the links, and if we go to this link, we see that this earthquake was in Italy, not in Morocco. So people sometimes just use different images for different developments, or in this case earthquake. So with TNA you can verify very quickly the images. I have another example here. For example, this is another image, a pray for Albania. So if we check this photo, we will see that this photo was not taken in Albania, but it's another country. So the idea of TNA is to you can put link or photo there, and you can check. So we have 14 results, and we can see the links. For example, be careful, do not, okay, the abuse with the images. So we can
We're
find
seeing,
different
sorry, Leslie,
articles.
we're seeing the presentation, not the web.
Sorry. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Yeah,
the
good.
idea is to put this photo. So let me show you again. So we go to upload image here. So we have a little boy. In several articles there are that this children was in Albania, but if we use TNA, we can see that this photo is in another country. So the idea that I am talking about is how to verify and to check photos using TNA.
But where do you see that it's from another country?
Yeah, if you can see the links here.
Epstein, Scandinavia, Turkey. Okay.
Yes.
So this is in Turkey.
Yes, this is in Turkey, but in several portals, this photo was shared as an Albanian little boy crying.
See.
So the idea of the TNA is to verify images.
So what this does is just tracks it to the very first post that has posted this picture.
Yes.
Okay. So it finds disinformation as well.
Yes. It's very useful, TNA, to do this. Okay. We have some other example, but for example, this photo as well in many Albanian media was showed. You can see the dog in the Durrës, Albania, but this if we use TNA, we can see that this photo it's in USA or Japan or something else.
Really? I really thought that this is in Albania.
No, it is not.
Even the Prime Minister posted, I think.
Yeah. Okay, we can do it. Okay, we can use the TNA just to save the photo. I will share the TNA with you. No, sorry.
Damn, so much disinformation.
Yeah, so TNA it's very useful for this. So we put the photo there, the image, and we can see several links about this dog, and we can see regarding to the date. For example, we have 2020, we have 2000.
So we have to
19.
track the date as well to find.
Yes, of course.
Okay. So
Because this
2019 is
platform
the.
shows if something happened today and you use TNA to see, you see maybe 3 or 4 years ago this photo was uploaded on the
Yeah.
internet.
So basically 2019 was the
Yeah.
latest one, yeah. So who's the latest? It's the real one though.
Yes.
So we need to check each of them.
If we are seeing any trusted platform, for example, I'm looking the links now. We can see the date for. But if you see there are 2022, 2024 that this image was used again and again. For example, there is 2023 in Turkey. So I'm just showing, explaining how the TNA works. It's very useful website for this. Let's go to the presentation. Another platform online, it's YouTube data viewer, sorry. This is in case if you want to see the date, exactly date and the year or month when a video was published on the YouTube. So I just put in any case if you need this. So I'm going quickly because I have more important things. So Wayback Machine, maybe you heard about this. It's my preferred. I use a lot in my job. So the web archive, I will show the link I will share with you now. The web archive, it works a little bit slower because there are many data there. So the ideas of web archive, it's to find articles that have been deleted or removed from the media platform websites or something else. So if you are interested in a specific article in institution ministries or any news portals, you can find with web archive archive.org. You can, for example, okay, let's try BBC, how it works. I will tell now how the web archive works. I found interesting data using this. For example, it's if a news portal or a ministry changed something or deleted the news, using the web archive, you can find this article because the web archive do screenshot of the portal for that period. It's a little bit slower, but now we will see how it works. You can try in your computer's web archive and putting any websites that you want to see in the past. For example, if the website it's not anymore, you can find as well the articles or the page using the web archive.
Basically, we are seeing the presentation.
Okay, just a moment because it's not. Okay, I'm waiting for web machine to open. But try in your computers as well to open, and you can try another media or institution or something else. maybe my connection it's a little bit slower.
Bisnik, sorry, while we are waiting, I want to inform you that unfortunately, due to other work tasks, I won't be able to continue with the training. But I would like to thank you for the presentation, for the knowledge and experience shared. Everything was well explained, and I'm sure that it will be useful for me and for all other participants. Thank you once again, and could you please send us the PowerPoint presentation after the training?
Yeah, yes.
So we can use the links. Okay.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Thank
Yes.
you.
We will also publish the recording on YouTube, so you
Okay.
can watch the rest of the presentation some other day.
Great. Thank you. Thank you once again. Bye.
Thank you, Nola. Bye.
So I think there are some problems, but if you open the okay, now we have. So I open BBC just to explain you how the web machine works. So we have data in this case for the BBC are saved from 1996 to today, June 24. So we can use, for example, okay, 14 January, and we can use a snapshot of there, and we can open the page that was on 14 January of this year. So we can search by the years. The idea of the web archive is to find data that are missing or has been deleted or in some cases the website it's not anymore. You can still find data using this platform. It's amazing platform. Okay. Another platform that I use, it's Tor browser. I don't know if you heard about this, but the Tor browser it's very useful if you work online and you want to hide yourself in aspect of IPs. So you can stay anonymously online. Tor browser usually you can install or can use directly. It's a little bit slower because data takes a longer route. So usually Tor browser it's slower than regular browsers, but it's very useful if you are conducting a story and you need to visit the several websites of public institution or businesses or something, but they have difficulty to track you. So if you install Tor browser, it's very useful for this. So we don't have time to explain practically. But if you just read on the Google Tor browser and download and install it, it's very useful. Or you can use the DuckDuckGo, so it's the same thing. This is online. Just to share with you. So if you use this website also, you can search many things online, and the others I think cannot track you. So, but Tor it's more useful. You can install Tor because Tor go through the different servers worldwide, and your IP, for example, you are working from Kosovo and your IP now is in show that it's in India, Italy, or something else. So it's very useful if you work for something specific and you want to protect yourself for tracking. Okay, let's go to. Okay, I want to present two more platforms. Lobby Facts are a platform that offers comprehensive data on lobbying activities in the European Union institution. I will show you the website now. You can. So the lobby facts, it's simple to use. So you just can select the lobby register category, the country, and you can see all the meetings. For example, we can see for our countries, Kosovo, Albania, Serbia, or something, if they companies or institution held meetings with different persons, deputies in European Parliament. So there, that data you can find there. Okay, because we have something about the social networks to tell you. Another platform that have been created by Follow Money. Follow Money, it's a platform. So through these platforms, you can find the companies that have gave money or donated money for political party that are in European Parliament. So, sorry. Okay. The last thing is to use Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter to find data online, to find many or several information. So a few years ago, there were two amazing platforms, stalks.com and graph.tips, but currently they are not available. So there are another option to investigate through the social media networks. Usually people share many data through the social media networks. So we use this data, for example, to find people who they works, who they are in company, or who in which places they did check-in or something else. So the platform is useful for journalists, researchers, people working on public interest. So the website is whopostedwhat.com. So I will show you and I will share with you now. If you can please open in your computers. So it's easy to use who posted what. For example, we can use or search things about post about. For example, we can use, okay, let's see, for Kosovo, and we can select the timing. For example, we need to see on Facebook with 5 June what was mentioned Kosovo in Facebook, for example. So the idea is to search faster and concretely using this platform. Another option is, for example, specific month. You can search information, let's say about okay, North, for example, North Macedonia or something else, but you need to be concrete in the specific month. So if you need a specific information for any topic that we are conducting something, and we can use this platform to find more information, or we can use for the specific year. For example, we use European integration of Albania or something else using the years in this case, or we can use the location and other option. So we don't have time to practice, but I will send, of course, what posted what. It's now the platform that we can use to search things in Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So I will show the Twitter as well right now. I need to log in. Yeah, so this is advanced search using the Twitter, so we can use all options there. So we can use the all of these words, this exact phrase, sorry, not any of these words. It's like Google Advanced, and we can use also hashtags if you are looking for something, for information that use something before some who before you, we can use the advanced search for Twitter to find several information. So we don't have time to practice right now, but I will send you the all the materials and links. So thank you for your attention. I hope that I have explained something in this training, because online maybe it's a little bit difficult to practice and to explain better how we works and what platforms we use to investigate. So now the floor is of Altin. If you have any question, we can write to me, or in the meantime, if you are conducting a story or research, you can contact me as well, and we can collaborate, investigate together, and find several data. It was a pleasure to be with you today, so we will be in touch.
Thank you, Besnik.
Thank you, Besnik, as well. It was so helpful. I do not have any questions because I already had it during your presentation. So for me, it's everything clear and very useful.
Thank you.
Yasmina, how does it go now?
It's excellent, really useful. So thank you very much, Besnik. We will share the presentation. We have question in chat, Besnik, from Mersika. Is there any tool, just a second, let me read it. Is there any tool that can help with AI photos to identify them?
Yes, I will send, because I don't have right now the platforms, but there are several platforms, and I will send you with the presentation.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. So, Altin, maybe we can continue.
Okay.
Thank you.
First of all, hi to everyone who is present. How to say, glad that I'm making this thing here, but it's a very unusual circumstance for me, because you know, Yasmina, Besnik, and Tia were typically right on everything except the date. They put 24th of June, which I was initially fine with it, but my wife was not. So she brought me to the vacation. And actually, just for information, I'm in Albania. I'm not that rich like the politicians that we speak about, you know, to go somewhere else. I'm in Albania, and I haven't, how to say, I'm not going to share right now neither a presentation with you, but I'm going to speak broadly about the general topic of the most highlighted corruption cases in the Balkans across the years. So before we go there, the only thing that I would like you to point out or to interrupt me is if I speak too fast, because that is something that is a professional deficiency that I usually have. And I would like to keep my temperament low in order to catch up and be able to talk. And again, although we all come from different spheres and perspectives, a lot of NGOs who are now part of this group not necessarily have experience in the investigative media or journalism, or not necessarily with the purely corruption policies or anti-corruption policies, etc. I think that what Besnik was explaining would be a useful tool for them actually to see that, I mean, as the corruption is an ongoing phenomenon all across us, it is also good for them to see and explore actually the opportunities that are there in order to encourage them to cover stories, because we are covered by all stories all across us. And this is also has to do with the context. I mean, we are speaking about a region of the world that in the last 30 years, it has experienced radical change, especially like in the ideology or in the political regime, the economical regime, etc., and associated as well, let's say, with some tragic wars. And then we had this period of re-establishment of the elites, or the old elites, who now emerged to be democratic elites. And this was typically also associated with the fact that these re-established elites proved to be democratic on paper, but actually they turned to be very autocratic in reality, like exercising a huge state capture procedures and tools, and also disabling a proper rule of law system or justice system and oversight independent institutions and mechanisms. And all of this, of course, had caused a very huge public distrust in the institutions, to the level that we are suspicious about everything. Like even when you send your kids to doctor and the doctor writes you a receipt, you have to check with another doctor, because you're not very, very sure how did he finish his own studies. Like if he had a professor whom he knew, or if he paid for his grades. And this mood of doubt is pretty much all across Balkans, which is something that we come across very often. And obviously, in a setup, in an environment like that, when you have institutions who are not properly established to serve to the common cause, to justice and the normal standard operation procedures, you have also weak performance by these institutions. And then the only thing that is left to really bring up into the surface the problems that ordinary people face is media and also the civil society. But in the last 10-15 years, we have seen also that media is a bicep, tool, because due to the fact how our chronocapitalism has emerged in our countries, we have seen also that there are portions of media which actually are aligned to certain political entities or groups, and therefore making it a bit more specific. The investigative media is actually, how to say, currently one of the most reliable tools to bring up into the surface what is going behind the stage of these politicians and the state institutions, while they, commit all these corruption affairs, etc. So when it comes to what Besnik was trying to explain as an investigative media outlet that we are. Keep in mind that it is a very demanding and challenging job because it implies to do what no one else actually is able to do, or what the public institutions lack the will to do. And this also has an impact on bringing forward threats and accusations, indictments, false indictments actually, or mafia type of threats, by sending you a bomb into the front door of your own office, etc., etc. So, I mean, the investigative media, and which is also what we're going to see through this part of discussions that we are sharing together, has been, let's say, one of the most critical components when it comes to really exposing the affairs that have happened across the years, which have had a very bad impact from public funds misuse up to losing people's lives, which we have unfortunately recently seen also in Serbia and Macedonia just recently. So basically speaking, the idea that I was going to talk to you about most notable corruption cases across Balkans, I think that this is something that it's not typically a part of my super expertise, because in my civic activism life, I am simply everybody's friend, politician's enemy, that's it. And that is no something very specific that I've done in terms of research or analysis regarding to the major corruption cases that would be, how to say, noted for me to expose here. But definitely I have made some research also from my past experience, and I would like to share with you a case per country and also mention some other cases which are very tragic in its nature, just to give all the representatives here a sense of how does the corruption on the behind the scene looks like, and actually why the investigative media approach has been the tool to actually cover these kind of things, because usually they are not something that you can cover by the ordinary other civic engagement tools. Let's say, am I speaking too fast or it's okay? Good. The first one that I would like to mention or point out is the with a young guy, which 25 years ago started his, he studied in the West. He came back in his home country. He, started to work as just an ordinary official into the privatization process of the state institutions or state enterprises in Serbia. And this guy then found himself to be a very, smart enough and intelligent to be also a member of governing elites advisory team member, etc., etc., and then just suddenly to end up as the mayor of Belgrade, and for a mandate. And then in 2018, he also became the Minister of Finance, which he kept that position for several times. And this guy actually is one that our colleagues from Serbia already know whom I'm talking about. It is called Siniša Mali. And this guy came to surface because 10 years from now, a journalist, Dragana Pecho from Krik, Serbia, which is also a partner within the OCCRP framework, when she became curious to say about this guy who became a newly mayor of Belgrade, and just started to dig if in the business registry accounts, like if there is any business registered to this particular person. So she started this ongoing investigation, and only to come out that actually this guy had around 40 bank accounts only, just for your information. And it was not very easy to get information for these bank accounts by so that you understand about the scope of engagement that doing investigative research implies. And also she discovers that Mr. Mali had some offshore companies actually, through which he has managed to own around 24 hidden apartments in the Bulgarian coast. So what is funny about this case is that although there have been so many allegations, the person has been, let's say, officially investigated. There has nothing came out from this case. Taking in consideration the fact that he was the director of 2 offshore companies, like in the British Virgin Islands, which these companies, offshore companies of his, owned assets of $6.1 million. I mean, nothing came officially. The state simply has some amnesty or very well understanding towards Mr. Sinish Amali. And although these investigations were happening ongoing while he was mayor, there was not an obstacle for him to be hired or to be, Minister of Finance and to be in the top positions, and also a very critically important person with the political elite. And just to, I choose this case because, let's say, the investigative media is, how to say, hunting him for 10 years now, exposing bits by bits, portion by portion of particular, cases where you can, just to mention, let's say he pays his private school for his kids in yearly amount, which is 5 times bigger than his salary, and let's say if you ask him, Mr. Sinisha, how come? I mean, where do you get the money? He would simply say, I have friends, I have friends abroad. They want to, pay for my my kids' education, and that's it. Or in another case, let's say he was, while he was the mayor of Belgrade, he gave some lucrative, high contracts for some businessmen to work on the waterfront, project in Belgrade. I mean, and just accidentally, like his brother was driving an Audi, which very fancy Audi, which was given by these 2 businessmen, So, and if you ask him again, how come that? Why was your brother chosen, for these 2 people who actually signed big contracts with the government of Belgrade to be the guy whom they would give this Audi or a fancy car, for which also had protests? There will still be no answer. So this case particularly speaks that there are some people who may have approached our regional setup from the background of highly educated and professionalists who are keen to move ahead the state agendas in terms of modernizing and getting the trends, getting us connected with the world market, etc., etc., who have, how to say, this immunity which has no logical explanation. And this is a case that shows that this is what actually our local atmosphere is towards some people who have huge immunity without any legal background, without any structural tool in hands. They do their thing, and they are out of affairs, but they continue to do their own and also benefit from the positions they held. So this is a case of Mr. Sinish Amali, a person, highly notable political figure in Serbia, which the investigative media have been investigating him for 10 years continuously and exposing step by step, bit by bit, many of his deeds, regarding to his illegal activity in the offshore companies, or owning, undeclared assets, or, having or taking gifts, undeclared gifts. All of these are, by Serbian law, also by the OECD norms and standards, totally unacceptable. There's no indictment, no process against him. He's doing his job perfectly fine, which also tells us that this is the climate that we live in. And when it comes to highly, people or political people who have this kind of immunity, Also, the investigative media is very, very challenged because at the end of the day, what makes things credible is if at the very bottom you will resolve with something concrete, there is an indictment, or there is a punishment, or there is an imprisonment, because these people have been misusing the authority invested in them to benefit for their own selves and for their crypto capitalist cycle. But this case practically tells that although there is so much going on from the investigative media efforts, there are still cases which are a bit above what the media can cover or make and explore. The colleagues from Serbia, if they are here, I guess they know the person that I'm talking about, or they're not. Sorry. What, do we have anyone from Bosnia?
We have Mersiha from Bosnia.
Marcia, because she's from Bosnia, she must be very familiar with the second case that I choose to talk about. And this is also a case that is a manifestation of how do our government, like-minded people, perform in emergency situations. And it has to do with the scandal of the how they call it, the ventilation affair, ventilators affair. Like during the COVID era, like every other country, those who were in charge or in power used the state of emergency criteria to do a lot of things behind the scene in order to really benefit from the public funds and exercise their own interests with their own stakeholders. And the ventilators affair in Bosnia is typically one case which manifests pretty much similar behavior across all Western Balkan countries, unfortunately, when it comes to such kind of procurement procedures that were used to happen during the COVID especially, but also in the recent period, as we have in the energy sector. So what happened in this case in Bosnia is that in April 2020, like when we were facing the mass COVID threats worldwide, there was the state purchased 100 Chinese-made ventilators without any tender procedure under this state of emergency, clausule, which were purchased actually by companies that used to trade drinks, and how to say fruits drinks. That's it. So actually, once this thing came up, there was a investigation from the media, from the journal, and from some other notable media in Bosnia. They came up because it was very unusual for them to understand how come that drinks and fruits trade company would be able to provide such a very critical ventilators, which are very, very specific in need to the circumstances that we were all facing with the COVID. So it apparently resulted that it simply did. I don't know how they pushed this. I don't know if there has been any price comparison between to see what is the standard equipment of that size actually normally costs, but they paid 5.4 million to purchase these 100 pieces of Chinese-made equipment. None of them actually worked. All of them were broken. Out of them, all of them, they're not in use, and they were useless at all. So the media, investigative media, the journal people, or the focus guys, also from this journal Focus, which also does investigative journalism, they started to wonder how come that this free trade critical area actually, and they come and they investigated they published actually the contracts, they published the documents, they showed pictures and price comparison about the same tools and equipment and also they got feedback these tools are not used at all. And as a result, obviously, the state authorities then indicted the then Prime Minister Fadil Knowledge, what was his name? I don't know. And also, there's another official like and also the company owner. They all were indicted, and the first court verdict, the basic court, gave them 15-year sentence. Then it went into the Court of Appeals, which is under review, which may also be a sign of they may leave, if not at all, at least with some lower than 15 years. But just to this case it's been obviously a major scandal in Bosnia, but simply it gives us the highlight about, unfortunately, what we've seen also in Macedonia, that when it comes to agents, as we call them in the public domain, who have a chance to use the public funds in the state of emergency scenario, they, instead of use, they misuse. And this particular case of having the courage to buy Chinese-made products in worth of 5.4 million euros to save lives, which actually resulted to be totally collapsed things, never used or never of any worth at all, tells us also that when it comes to money, everyone, there's no there's no saint procedures, that we would like to rely on. That's why the investigative media, like they did in Bosnia with this particular case, is very, very critical to cover these kind of processes and tenders and equipment purchase, because especially in vital sectors like health, education, energy, public infrastructure, etc., because these do affect the daily life of citizens, and I mean, the case is definitely worth mentioning, that simply not only that it was a scandal for Bosnia, but it manifests how to say, a common behavior of what we have seen during the COVID era by multiple other state actors and factors across the Balkans. And the fourth one that I would like to mention, it's with our colleagues from Albania. Not need to talk too much about this thing. I'm going to talk about this thing in a very, very simple manner. So the whole idea was that the government decided to manage the waste, So they called from this waste management incinerators concept about producing as an ultimate goal to produce energy from the waste, So they gave, let's say, a concession to 3 companies. 1, they have no clue about waste management at all. 2, they were offshore linked companies, And 3, they have no experience whatsoever in the subject area. But the process which started in 2016 and ended up, let's say, 2020 to 2021, ended up by these companies actually getting advanced money from the state institutions in amount of millions, which in one figure that I read, it was about 178 million euros advanced payment, from the state institutions, based on the concept that they were going, to do all this incinerators, at work. And when you go back and consider, like, what was this money spent for, our colleagues from Albania know it better than us, but it results that actually there is no functional incinerators. They were never completed, and those who were supposed to be built, they were never built. The outcome, obviously, the SPAC office could not close its eye towards this, mega scandal and affair, and it was due to the burn News, Top Channel, and some other investigative media who actually brought light to this problem or this mega scandal. Like the minister Lefter Kuka, who was convicted for corruption, apparently got 3.7 million euros in bribe, type of apart from other dozens of officials who have been investigated, and arrested back and forth and who are still under investigation. But
but if I can add something,
yes, please.
The problem is not just that the incinerators are now gone, but the payment still continues. It's an everyday thing. So it's not a corruption that is in the past. It's still while we're talking. And even though the minister is convicted and some other people from Elbasan incinerator and the one in Fier and some investigations that are still going on, but the payment for these let's say businesses are still going on, even though the owners of the incinerator are being how to say, being looked from the police. So they are in I don't know, no one knows where they are, but the payment's still going on. So yeah, that's it.
That's strange. I did not know that they were still paying, actually. But in terms of figures, like having this good idea and giving concession to 3 companies who have no clue, no idea, no experience, not even a single experience in waste management, let alone to produce energy from waste, it definitely means that this is not something a one way. This is not a monologue. This has been a very huge dialogue between parties in order to come up into all this entrepreneurship as a result, because at the end of the day, having nothing to be performed upon and yet spending 178 million euros from the taxpayers' money for something that was supposed to be, but it's not happening and is corrupted along the way, that's very problematic. But let's say for the attendees here, just to let you know, all this started by the Bern, let's say, investigative journalists who discovered that these companies were starting, let's say, in the process of doing the work, they started to issue fake invoices. And I just wanted to highlight this because one of the most common way of putting illegal money into the system in our Western Balkan countries is by issuing fake invoices to legitimize the expenditures that they are supposed to spend. So the fake invoice phenomenon is something that you should keep in mind whenever you do an investigation that has 2 things: one public entity and one private entity. There is always a fake invoice in between. When we speak about those who do not do the work properly, So fake invoice phenomenon is something that you should start digging from the beginning if you really want to come up and see whether there is something suspicious or not in that regard. Now, going back to Mademoiselle Ristovska, the affair in Macedonia, just like in Kosovo, just like in Serbia, there are many affairs, and also in Albania, of course. Nevertheless, Bosnia and Montenegro and Bulgaria, like everyone. But I also choose in Macedonia's case one particular scandal that was highlighted in 2019, and it was highlighted by an investigative report made by Ms. Irena Mulchak from the Focus investigative media, and it has to do with, let's say, like, since 2019, there were whispers and ideas circulating that the oncology clinic in Skopje is actually misusing some of the most highly expensive drugs for cancer treatment. And there were, concepts there were ideas that actually the doctors, the nurses, and the pharmacists and everyone else, the clinical staff, were like in a clergy altogether, stealing this particular, expensive drugs and selling them to the black market. Sometimes even exporting them abroad because it gets paid multiple times, like in Kosovo. If you don't find something in Kosovo, then you go and talk to some doctors in oncology clinic in Skopje because they will find it for you. So basically, this lady, this journalist, Irena, she got these rumors, and she started to investigate about this case. And by the way, her investigation resulted to be you winning award, as a life-saving story, because it had a very huge impact. Like in Macedonia, there have been so many protests, like the bad blood protests about, especially from the families of those who had cancer or who were supposed to be treated. Now, what was scandalous about this thing is that usually there is a standard procedure also in treatment of drugs, or how they give it to the patients. So it resulted that actually, while they were taking some highly expensive drugs and put them in their pockets, they were giving subsidy, complementary drugs, which were totally ineffective. And what was very inhumane treatment was also that sometimes they were also claiming that they were giving the drugs, but they were actually keeping them from the patients. So this also highlights that when it comes to specific, components, like where a lot of money, or when we talk about phenomenons or processes or products that are typically very rare, let's say, these are also the spotlights of possible corrupt practices and procedures. In this case, is telling us that even in a place when people are, hoping to get covered, they may get misused by irresponsible doctors, nurses, and pharmacists, like the case shows, because making sure that, just from a personal perspective, everyone is able to fight for a family member, and he is able to pay any price possible to get what a family member may need. And starting from this need, the doctors actually played around exactly to fulfill this need, but in a very irresponsible, illegal way, by stealing the drugs that were purchased by public money and selling them to the black market, and replacing the drugs with some substitute drugs which were not totally ineffective. And obviously this caused a huge problem, protests and public outcry from the Macedonians, and it resulted with investigation, of course, with taking some of the doctors from the clinic, displacing them, getting them out of the job, or replacing them with some other people, etc., etc. But simply, this case also shows that the health sector actually, and I've chosen this case simply to tell you that when we talk about the corruption scandals, the health sector, if it's not the primary, it's always the secondary. Yeah. And it, depending from the country, but the health sector, basically speaking, is one sector where a lot of such kind of problems happen, especially with drugs, when it comes from which are not part of the essential lists of the public hospitals. Yasmina, do you have any comment about this case? Do you remember it?
Yes, actually, there is prosecution going on now. The two doctors are actually prosecuted. The former medical director and organizational director of oncology clinic. And first they got house arrest.
Oh, really?
And 4 days ago, the Court of Appeal actually changed the house arrest into effective detention, and we will see how this process will continue. So it's a recently opened prosecution.
I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it, because definitely it was a case, very bad case, emotionally thinking about that,
So it's 6 years later.
Yeah, 6 years later, indeed, I know, but at least they will get what they deserve, because we had also in Kosovo, we had similar, cases, but not to the scale of, how to say, an organized schema, because apparently the case there was a very organized. Okay, so there are, more notable cases which I'm going to talk in the end, but when it comes to Macedonia, but I'm going to go now to how they say, the first family in Montenegro, because all of our countries have some notable families, but Montenegro has a very, very, very notable family, actually, which is the first family in all the Montenegro. So actually, everyone almost knows that in the last 3 decades, or almost 3 decades, Montenegro has had many governments, presidents, different kind of institutions, but it had one godfather, and as they say, typically, with all the respect to the person, because I don't know him personally, of course, and I don't care to know him, nor do I want to say anything bad about him, because he is still a politician. People here may have affiliation to him or like him. Sometimes I may have liked him as well, just like I did some other politicians. Is definitely the spotlight, the highlight, the pattern, of Montenegro in the last massive, rumors that he enabled the tobacco smuggling, across from Italy, especially to Montenegro, and from Montenegro to all of other countries that we speak about. But the particularly there was in 2021, actually, the investigation, or the OCCRP group and some other investigative journalists, also from BBC and from Reuters, wrote about some findings in the Pandora Papers, because we have these Paradise Papers and the Pandora Papers, two global phenomena, which actually were critically used by the investigative media in the region, or in the worldwide, actually, to bring to surface so many dirty works and connections and companies and assets that a lot of politicians from our region have had, and whom we never knew nothing about. So basically speaking, the Pandora Papers showed up that Milo Djukanovic and also his son, I don't know his name, was actually founder of 2 offshore companies or trustees, like Victoria Trust and Cape Castle Trust, in the British Virgin Islands in 2012. And they have managed assets of millions of euros. And apparently, the Milo was smart enough not to have some legal, or how to say, he worked to close the legal loopholes for him being a shareholder, at the same time not being legally linked to them. So what they do was to actually engage some persons, or like managers or agents from Switzerland, who then would play back and forth with these offshore assets to actually cut the direct linkage with his primary self with these companies, but due to the investigative journalism and investigation that was carried out by OCCRP, by BBC, by Reuters, and also local media, it resulted that actually Milo Djukanovic and his son were the owners of these 2, trustees, offshore companies that were established in 2012, and ever since, European Union, US Embassy, and everyone else on board, started to make a lot of pressure for the state institutions to make, investigation about the case. And obviously, when Italian investigators or Italian prosecutors tried to do something about the tobacco smuggling thing, Milo Djukanovic was then like the president, so he has the full immunity and no one can touch him. But the recent 2021 offshore companies that resulted to be his actually bring up in surface a case when he is simply a legal person. He has no more like immunity standards to be taken in consideration, and that actually that is a simple case for state authorities to investigate. And I guess that they also started something, but nothing has resulted concretely on this matter. And although you can never expect from Milo or from Gruevski or from Edirama or from Taci or from Borisov or from anyone else or Vucic in Serbia to say that actually, they have something to do with these kind of companies. But still, the Milo Djukanovic case or the Montenegro case that I decided to speak about, especially with having, offshore companies who manage assets worth of multi-millions, and yet, being able to stay in vacation just like a boss, like a padron, it brings in the surface a very common ground mentality that we face in our political elite in the region. And I'm sure that these kind of people are the first to like these are, how to say, the pictures across whom we call the phenomena of the state capture. Because only a person like Milo Djukanovic and his counterparts, due to his own long legacy, political legacy, and how to say, the political positioning in the historical setup where they were and how they did, enables them to actually have overall control in every single thing, if not for everything, at least for everything that is related to him. So you cannot expect from an ordinary police investigator or a prosecutor or a judge to be able to stand all alone against a case scenario of state capture padron, like in this particular case. And unfortunately, we still are having this kind of politicians with this kind of background who still outplay everyone else, especially the state judicial institutions. And that's why, again, strengthening the civic activism and investigative media is still one of the most promising tools to actually start to bring to the surface scandals and corruption cases like the ones that you mentioned. Now, I know that it's going to be a very it's hot, it's warm here in Durrës, by the way, but it's also lunchtime for many people, so I'm not going to be very, very long. Just going to mention, or also dear friendly neighbor Bulgaria, because they are also a lot of scandalous cases of corruption and misuse of public assets and money. But I'm just going, I selected one to talk, which is very near to the case that I'm going to speak about, Kosovo. So it has to do with the state-owned company Bulgargas, who between 2021 and 2023 found itself in a very big scandals involving, and you remember these were the years when we have also some electricity crisis, so the gas was very, very expensive for heating, etc., etc. So just imagine the setup. So what they did was that actually they had a direct agreement with Azerbaijan to get cheap gas from a state-owned Azerbaijani company, And actually, what they did was that they did not use that direct contracting or agreement with Azerbaijan, but they started to purchase a lot of gas from the intermediary companies. And apparently, the intermediary companies were as well connected with politicians and political elite. So there are also how to say speculations which were underway or investigated by media, who showed up that actually a part of the scandal was that a portion of the gas that was purchased from Azerbaijan with low price was deviated and distributed to these intermediators, who then will sell to Bulgar gas the same gas with much more expensive money. So it is a scandal that involved a lot of actors, and but the Capital BG and Bird and Media Pool in Bulgaria, these three investigative journalists platforms actually highlighted a lot of portions of this scandal, which still remains under investigation. Actually, nothing has happened practically, except the fact that the board or the board of the company or the state company, resigned, when they were open to investigation. Especially, this case also tells it's similar to the case of when we had the state of emergency in during COVID, because the period that Bulgargas was involved in this major scandal was actually during the caretaker governments that were happening in Bulgaria. So there was no one actually in charge, fully in charge to be responsible to it. So there was a caretaker government who said, find out that there were deals about these things. Find out that there were deals about these things. So no one could take responsibility. But the intermediaries were totally beneficial from all the what was going on. So, I'm going to now in same line from Bulgaria to the principally in Slovenia, and it has an office in Belgrade. And this office in Belgrade, apparently, during previous years, hired a very smart Albanian guy from Kosovo. He was so smart that actually they paid him 1.5 million euros in 2016 as a consultant. Now, just in case, this guy's name is Martin Berisha. And in 2021, he was appointed ambassador. Although there's been so many investigative stories about the gas scandal, because this guy, Martin Berisha, before being appointed ambassador to Croatia, he had not even had Kosovo citizenship. And apparently, just 2 days before they will appoint him, ambassador to Croatia, in order for him to have some immunity, he was given Kosovo citizenship without any prior, either, let's say, from Central Intelligence Agency about his background or whatsoever. So he was simply a person who was a big middle player across all Balkan energy sector, who has done his job for GAN Serbia through it. He got the money. He got also cash withdrawals from banks, around 500,000 euros, €500,000, also deposited from the GAN Serbia. And just to let you know that if you think that all these things are accidental, I can tell you that in the same year, in the winter crisis, only one transaction with GAN Serbia from Kosovo was 4.2 million euros. The KEK, the Electron Energetic Company of Kosovo that produces energy, who was facing a lot of crisis in the winter crisis of 2022, actually purchased electricity from GAN. So just so you understand, there is a guy who works for GAN, he gets money, Then a new government comes, and this guy becomes an ambassador into the new government, and he goes to Croatia. And again, the place where he used to work starts to trade or to sell energy to Kosovo. Also, and again, this apparently, because we were very interested, we have also reported about this case. We were interested to see with the special prosecution of Kosovo what is happening actually in this particular case. Apparently, there is a much more huge investigative effort in the Balkan scope, because it involves countries like Montenegro, Serbia, Kosovo, and Slovenia. It is not typically a Kosovo story, but it has to do more with, it's a more regional network, which also tells us that there are networks in a region who have to do with trafficking, arms smuggling, human trafficking, drugs, and also energy, just like in this case, which complicate even more the ability of our outlets to do investigative backup and checkup, and which also highlights the need, why there is a need for us to be regionally connected as well, just like the SELDI initiative is established for, because I may know a lot of things about in Slovenia, or I know, and about how he, but I may not know about Gen Serbia, because apparently the Gen Serbia, I don't know if I'm sure, but as I read and remember, is an office in an address that actually, if you show up, there is no one there. The door is closed. So it's actually even a fictive office, But still, that fictive office was able to pay 1.5 million euros to Mr. Berisha back in 2015-16, So there is a lot of mishap actually going on the regional level, which needs to be covered. And while we are in Kosovo and special energy sector, just wanted to highlight two other things. We had recently an arrest of Nagib Krasniqi, who was the director of KEK, who in a period 2021-2023 gave 70 million euros contracts with a negotiated procedure. Just so that you know about our current climate in energy sector. Like, we have people who totally disbanded procurement procedures and simply went out and distributed contracts with third parties, intermediaries, shareholders, companies, private companies from everywhere, without even thinking about the responsibility of public procurement procedures at all. 70 million euros, which we found as contracts. There are suspicions that are, much more, which we have not yet covered. But just imagine 70,000 million euros each was a very huge amount of money to be distributed without any single procedure or public procedure. And while we are in the energetic sector in Kosovo, just to let you know, the recent phenomena that just evolved and we are working on is the NOA Energy Trade, which is a company established in 2021 in Albania. It has only two staff, 2 people only are registered as workers. But since 2021, it has made 262 million. I'm gonna admit, 262 million imports of energy. Can you imagine? A company established just 4 years ago with only 2 workers, no previous background in the sector, just accidentally, in the period when we had so many crises in electricity and energy sector, is able to import 262 million euros of energy. So, and actually, between 2022 and 2024, this NOA Energy Trade Company has had a kind of a monopoly in Kosovo. And when I say monopoly, just to let you know, what was one of the elements that proves this. They sold in September 1 megawatt hour for 345 euros. Now, just so that you know, we do produce energy, most of the time, almost all the need for energy. Sometimes when we lack, all that kind of production, we buy it. And we buy it through NOAA, of course. And NOAA apparently, in one case, sold us 345 euros for megawatt energy, which is, just for information, 225% higher than the average European market exchange rate. So, and in additional information, just to let you know that this NOAA company just recently has transferred 21 million euros to a Greek energy company owned by Mr. Georgios Peristelios, who accidentally is a friend for Prime Minister Albin Kurti. Accidentally, I'm saying, nothing suspicions on that, So, basically speaking, what we've seen recently in our energy sector, it has been totally owned by mismanagement in all aspects. We have just recently 60% of increase of electricity price, and just 3 weeks ago we had a decision from the regulatory board that they would most of the companies now, they will not be anymore supplied by KEC, but they will be supplied by the free market, electric free market, norms. So they have, if a company who now, and actually we have 3 major protests in Pristina, because a lot of companies are saying that we are about fallement, we are collapsing, we cannot pay 4 times higher in the free market, let's say, because we were never told, like, who decided for us to simply say you're not going to be supplied anymore by the local producers, but you're going to purchase the electricity from the market. So anyway, just to let you know that there are the cases that I try to choose are different in nature, and not necessarily speaking about the idea that the corruption is only in form of bribery or in form of a 10%, 10% of a tender, etc. We have also very notable other cases, like the Nenad Popovic, ex-minister of innovation, who apparently was very innovative for himself, because the Paradise Papers in 2016 exposed him to have a multi-million companies offshore. Or we had this Krušik arms scandal in Serbia, which apparently the state-owned company who produced weapons was selling below market price weapons to a private companies, who actually then were reselling them to conflicts were happening in Yemen or in Syria or in Lebanon, etc. Or we have also the Gruevski famous, scandals of wiretaping around 20,000 citizens, which also emerged with Zaev's bombs and collapse of the regime. Or we have the Kosovo veterans case, which there were so thousands of people were added in the war veterans list only to get pensions, because that was a way how the political parties extended the political patronage by getting people in the list in order to get them pensions, etc. But I would not like to go more details about them. I would like simply to tell or to go back into things. Unfortunately, we have had a case, as you know, in Novi Sad, when the train station actually that was constructed by a consortium of Chinese, French, and Serbian companies collapsed, and unfortunately it took the lives of 16 people. And just recently, a Pulse nightclub fire in Macedonia, which 59, or what was it? Unfortunately, 62, yeah. Which, if you go back and review them, you see that there was no oversight whatsoever by any public entity responsible for the oversight of procedures and standard operation norms, just like in Novi Sad or here in Macedonia. which also talks about some elements that, if this corruption activity, because obviously there is corruption behind these two things. There is corruption in Novi Sad because you cannot construct recently the train station, and then simply get papers approved that all was done fine. You suddenly wake up with 16 people dead due to its collapse. That is not an accident. There was an attempt to evade from responsibility and get some money that was supposed to be invested in the platform, actually was invested in the pocket. That's it. Close deal. I mean, if we are good enough to investigate and see how and who exactly, that's a different story. But you can't simply say that in this modern era, you're not able to build something sustainable. No, unless there was something wrong with the way it was managed. And at the same time, in the Pulse Club, you can't say that if you never send an inspector, a fire inspector, to check whether the fire pumps were properly installed, or the people were trained, or the setup was properly for a nightclub, etc., etc. That's corruption. Because if such checks were ordinarily required by law were never performed because someone knew someone or someone gave some bribe to someone, we may be able or not to document who was, but definitely there was corruption. So this is simply to say that as long as corruption actually is ongoing, there's an activity that goes, and we unfortunately, just to let you know that I've seen also the world. It's not that the world entirely is better than what we face here in our own scenarios, but usually the corruption in the world, in the Western democracies, is of a big scale. Not necessarily like it has to do with trade arrangements, not necessarily with things that touch people's lives. But here, unfortunately, in Balkans, we face corruption that touches people's life directly, just like we see the consequences that we spoke about. So as long as we face crime and corruption, that is an ongoing activity. And also as long as we have weak institutions, and often with a political patronage on top of it, and as a consequence also of weak justice mechanisms, the only thing that remains for us to do is to continue and strengthen or investigative media, activism, because these two are critically important to do something that no one else is able to do. Obviously, whistleblowers are very important to component in this regard. They should be kept safe at all costs, because these are people, just to let you know, when this thing, Alexander Bradovic in Serbia, when he covered, or when he exposed this Krušik arms scandal in Serbia, he did not thought about that he's going to be a hero, but he exposed scandal. So that's a whistleblower. We face this kind of whistleblowers in everyday life. Obviously, they work inside. They know the daily things, how they work. It's very important to keep them safe at all costs, and also be aware that when you go and approach yourself into this kind of topics, you will always find yourself in trouble. You may find yourself in by crime groups, etc., etc., etc. But the last sentence I want to say is that working in this domain is not a profession. It is, unless it is a passion for a common way of life, a communitarian life, which is based on transparency, accountability, and integrity. We have nothing to do here, because journalism or investigative journalism or civic activism is not a profession. So I simply encourage you to continue to do what you've been doing so far, and also use this experiences that we are sharing back and forth to actually get in line and packed up and start to challenge any crime and corruption activities that is happening, which is having effect in people's lives. I would like to close it for now. Thank you very much for your attention. Don't ask me about presentation. I have none. Don't ask me to send you one, because I have not. I'm in vacation. I stole my day from vacation, but definitely we remain at your disposal to share back and forth any knowledge and information that we have for particular cases or for trends.
Thank you very much, Altin. So you can continue with your vacation. Thank you very much, Besnik, as well. It was quite useful for me, I think, for our colleagues as well. And we will wait for Besnik to share the presentation, and I will also share the presentation and the recording to our participants and also to other grantees who were not able to attend. So thank you once again.
Yes,
And
of course, I will send a presentation. Thank you all. And I hope we will be in touch and to work together in a project. Let's see the future.
me as well. So we are here for any information that the grantees will need or connect information or connect you with them. So thank you once again. And if anyone has another question, please go ahead. Otherwise, I will close the training.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So keep in touch. Bye-bye.
Bye.